Hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. We have another Spirits with Spirits, but it's kind of a twist to it. So tonight I'm drinking the So Free JP Chenet Rosé, France. It is alcohol free. So those of you who are concerned about me drinking alcohol and doing cards at the same time, no need to worry tonight. So anyways, I'm just finishing up this bottle today. And it is alcohol free and I like it with ice. So cheers. It's really good, except I just find these alcohol free wines a little sweet. It's almost like it's just grape juice, right? So let's get to our reading tonight. I'm using the Citadel. Is there going to be a civil war in the UK? Is there going to be a civil war in the UK? There were some rumblings about it on X today, and it kind of piqued my interest a little bit. Of course, it has to do with the illegal immigration and how they get it's perceived that they get free housing, free food, free looking after, and the people who are paying for it are struggling. So is this going to create a division in the UK? Is there going to be, now I've done a reading on the UK, and it was this really strange part, the prediction that the soldiers that are in the military would be called home. And part of it was for Ireland. Ireland is kicking off all the big riots and whatnot. I'm wondering if part of it is to maintain some kind of military presence in the UK. Let's find out. I did a reading on, a lot of people were concerned that the UK was going to have conscription, and that said no, and that turned out to be correct. There is no conscription, but let's find out. Is the UK going to descend into civil war? Shall we begin? The guide, inheritance, correction. Now, is the guide, because this is inheritance, is this something to do with the king? Because is this something to do with, because it's inheritance, I don't think it's a politician. It's a job that you inherit. Or is it the church? Is it the Church of England? Ooh, the witch in reverse, experimentation, rebellion in reverse. Just hang on. The adventure, responsibility, expectations. Look at this volcano exploding. Okay, what I'm going to say is what I'm getting with this is I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the volcano's in reverse. If this was upright like this, I would say things are about to explode. But it's in reverse. And also with the witch here, the rebellion is in reverse. So people may be talking about lighting everything up. But let's see. The chiromancer, delivering news, collaboration. Look, we have look at the hands that we have. Interesting. The witch and the palm reader. The forgotten, misled opportunities, fear of failure. I don't think we've ever seen this card played before. The forgotten, missed opportunities. It may be too late. It may be too late. Also, when you're thinking about the forgotten, you could almost call that the asylum seekers, right? The forgotten that they show up and they pretend they don't have a name, or, they don't have a passport or anything, but they have a phone, brand new clothes, right? And also the forgotten could be the native Brits. They're the forgotten ones. They're the ones who are paying for all of this. They're paying for it in many, many ways, in actual money. They're paying for it in lost opportunities. They're paying for it in lost community. Um, what I'm seeing here, though, is a halt, a no, stop. So the alarm bells are ringing. The alarm bells are ringing, and I think that they're starting to answer. Interesting. Both these hands are black, and these hands here are white. Not skin color. Don't get me wrong, but one is like the darkness, and one is the light. And you think about, to me, the laws and politics and the politicians and the ridiculous laws that we have, that we aren't allowed to say things that we observe, or pattern recognition. We are stopped. And so perhaps this guide and this person who's stopping, this is the dark. So is the light being stopped by the dark? The muse, generosity, I'm going to say that overall a lot of people are naive with what's going on. If it's not going on in their backyard, they have absolutely no idea. Or if all they do is watch mainstream media, they're really naive to actually what's going on. And what's going on is nobody's getting along. So perhaps they live in a little village that is untouched by what's going on in the big cities or the bigger towns. And so they have no idea. None. They don't understand why people are upset about things. The botanist, parenthood legacy. And look, this is again a dark hand, a black hand. And look, at the black hands are all upright and the white hands are all in reverse. The herald, small regrets, longing. You know what I think is going to happen? They're going to they're going to try and stop this. Like, go down the white rabbit hole, right? Follow the white rabbit. Isn't that a big saying? Down the rabbit hole, the white rabbit. I think what they're going to try and do is shut down some of that stuff. I think they're going to start to appease the people a little bit. Oh, we'll reduce your taxes, or we're doing our best to get rid of the illegals and whatnot. Like a young boy was just murdered for taking his dog for a walk, or a young man. So they're trying to appease everybody by, they'll do some kind of action and coddle you for a little while. Oh, the Queen. Determination, sacrifice. The storyteller, viewpoints, control. Look at that. The white hands make the black shadows. So yes, the black hands are the people working in the shadows. The captain, taking command, teamwork. You won't be allowed to have a civil war. So is this the WEF and the Prime Minister? Is this the people working in the shadows? I'm going to say here, remember here I said this could be the king? I don't think so, because the Queen here showed up, which is king or queen, and it's the sword, and I'm going to say that the king isn't going to do anything. I mean, I think a lot of people are calling for him to do something. I don't think he's going to do anything. He's going to stay out of it. I think the shadow people are going to come together, and either things won't be promoted on TV. Like I said, the people who go like, "What are you talking about? I haven't seen anything on the BBC about that. I haven't seen anything on mainstream media about that. That can't possibly be true." I think, and you know what's interesting? Look at the hanging. Things aren't going to change. They're the taking command and teamwork. I think they're going to. This could be the MSM and the PM. This could be the PM and the WF, the UN, whatever it is. They're going to leave people hanging, and they're going to do whatever they can to maintain control. I don't see anything in here about any kind of civil disagreements. The Forgotten, I was waiting till the reading was done. This is the Forgotten is the native Brits, the native Irish, and the native Scottish, and the native Welsh. They are the Forgotten. They're the last on the list. And whatever this big agenda is, the puppeteer in the black hand. What did I tell you? Explanations, apologies. And look at the puppeteer, and that's the same. There's all the Scots, the Brits, the Welsh. They're forgotten. And the puppeteer is just moving you all around. But they're the ones who are in control, and there's not going to be a war. You know, I just honestly don't know how we're going to get our way out of this. I honestly don't know. I have no idea. And even at this witch in reverse, there's not even any like kind of spiritual magic you can use. Clarify this for us, please. Clarify this for us, please. File, mystery, strangeness, transformation. Locket, commitment, loved ones, partnership. Interesting, the clock is ringing. Vase. Vase or vase? Do you say vase or vase? Vase. I've always said vase, but I've heard some people say vase. Devastation, loss, recovery. Look at that. Vases all in a bunch of pieces, but obviously it gets put back together again. So I'm going to say that it looks like mystery, strangeness, transformation. People are noticing, because the eye's wide open here, things are changing in the country. Your culture's changing, your society's changing, and you're waking up to find this. Now, this locket, interesting, this is a Fabergé egg, which makes me think of Russia, right? But also makes me think of the Romanovs, the royal family who were cousins with the British royal family. So I'm wondering here if this is telling us about the history and where we have the mystery and the history and how tight the people are, how tight the actual native Brits can be. And right now, everybody is scattered, disjointed, broken. But all you have to do is remember your commitment to loved ones, your partnership, and for your recovery, to put this vase we call the UK back together again. I think it's going to stay broken and scattered for a while until people realize they can come together and they're stronger together. Unity your loved ones will fix this vase that's smashed into a million pieces, and you just don't know where to start. So what you do is you gather the pieces, you gather your loved ones closer, you look at your heritage, you look at your strengths, and you start looking within your partnership, your loved ones, you start coming together. as you did previously, right? You think of how many Brits were strong together during World War II, right? They all stood together, and that you have to find that again. You have to find that again. You have to find that heritage again. You have to find that commitment that to your ancestors, to your future generations, to your people, and put this vase that's been busted open back together again. But only you can do it, and you have to notice something is going on. And we seen that up here. A lot of people are still naive. They still have to wake up. They still have to wake up. Interesting. Look at, we have a circle and a triangle here, and we have a circle and a triangle here. So, and look at, the eye is closed here. As soon as this eye is open, can start gathering and coming together. Block voting, because that's what they do to get their people in. Block voting, coming together, town halls, start talking to each other. Start gathering together, realizing your strengths. You have to remember, look at this locket is blessed from above. And cut those ties to the puppeteer. All right. Good luck with that, Britain. I do not see civil war in the future here. All right. So cheers to that. Take good care. See you online. Bye for now.